Hello everyone, and welcome to your Module 5 Online Portfolios / Websites and Edu Branding. So I'm going to go ahead and start your presentation. Right. As an overview to our session, we're going to be reviewing classroom websites, looking at some samples. I'm going to give you some website creation and management tools, and then we're going to review your discussion board questions and then look at your assignment step-by-step instructions. Your essential questions for your discussion board this module is with the overarching essential question is, what is your website or web page communication strategy? And here are some sub-questions to that I would like you to answer. What is the difference between a website, Weebly, a personal web page about me, social media page such as Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, any of those, and an LMS or Google Classroom pages. So I want you to kind of understand what those different terminologies are. And then number 2, how often will you post updates to your site or pages? Hopefully you'll be using these pages for your classroom. So do you plan to update daily, weekly, monthly? And there's no pressure to update extremely often, but just want you to think ahead of time what is manageable for you. Sometimes folks create all these pages and then they get overwhelmed and then stop. And I think I would be in that category too. So if you have a bit of a manageable strategy, that would be helpful. So just think about that. Number 3, what are the benefits and drawbacks to having multiple people like you, your parents, and students post updates to your sites? So you can kind of crowdsource and make a community out of it. Here's some other key vocabulary I wanted you to know for this module. And social media, object-oriented programming, this is coming up recently. And then number 3, HTML, 4 blog, 5 web page, 6 websites, social media manager is 7. And let me go back to that. And here's your netlingo.com again as well. And you could just type in these words to that online dictionary and it will help define those terms for you. There's a bit of a delay in the system here. Which sometimes happen. Okay, there we go. That sometimes happens when we're running multiple groups. I've got a lot going on here, so apologies for that delay. And then the next part of the presentation is, of course, your standards. Topic is classroom websites, and we're looking at ISTE nets. Number 3, modeling digital age work and learning. So this website's a great virtual bulletin board for you. You can post students' work, you can post best practice samples. It's kind of a morphing of our Blackboard modules as well as websites and social media. So you can really use this website for many things. Please know if you're going to be posting student work, you do want to make sure their name is removed and want to make sure you have all those policies and procedures in place about sharing student information or work, and your future school district should be able to share those policies with you. Just make sure you follow those. Maybe our anticipatory set. So here's our first example, and I'm sharing my professional website with you. I created this in Weebly as a sample for you. Now, of course, mine's a little bit more robust. I've been doing this a long time, and we're probably going to go through the delay again. So you will have several of the same pages that I do. You're going to have a home and about and a gallery and a contact page, and then you'll also have our portfolio page where you display your work. This is not going to take the place of your chalk and wire, but it can be similar. So you can visit this link on your own. It should be hyperlinked in your presentation, so when you're viewing the presentation, you can just click directly from there. So enjoy that. Here's another sample for you. This is a colleague of mine that I've been following her work for probably 15 plus years. And this is one of her newer sites called Rock Your Strength. She had a global communication project. It's actually students got together and co-created music through GarageBand. Fabulous project, wonderfully successful. And she started as a classroom teacher that was a special ed teacher, and then transitioned over to Rock Your World or Rock Our World, and then went to be the technology coordinator for Will and Jada Pinkett Smith School in Southern California. And she's now doing this Rock Your Strengths. So you can go ahead and look at her website. And a third website of a teacher or professional website is Angela Mayer's. She started out as a classroom English as a second language ESL teacher, and then just, I believe she had a TED Talk that went well, and then she converted over to being this guest speaker, and so she's written several books, and you can look at her website too. Now, of course, you're going to have some different pages, and you're just starting, and these folks have been doing it for 15, 20 years, but I wanted you to see a best practice example, what you have to look forward to. Now, I also have a bunch of student website samples from last semester that I curated, and yours are actually going to be pretty similar to these. So here's the Digo link. Just go ahead and click on this link when you're in the presentation, and it will take you there, and then you can go ahead and look at the different samples that were out there. Okay, and these are just many, maybe not all, but many of the student websites that I had from last semester. And then I chose a few for you as best practice samples. These are ones you can really look at and kind of dive into. Notice this is Sheree McClellan. She's a great student of mine last semester. She has her home page and about page. She added homework. You don't have to have that. You do have to have contact, and you do have to have a gallery and a portfolio, which is where you're going to be adding in your previous work. You don't have to have a newsletter. That would pretty much go into your portfolio. So, and then here's Jennifer Clark's page or website, and these are all in Weebly. So, and she pretty much has the standards: a home and about, a contact, portfolio, gallery, and blog. Now, granted, because you've not been teaching a long time, you may not have a significant gallery to post, but you can, like here Jennifer did, you can certainly share your own pictures of your family or of any teaching practice that you've had, or if you currently work in a school, you can go ahead and post those pictures into your gallery. Okay. And then here's William Ferris, and he has the about or the bio page, portfolio, gallery of photos, and then contacts as well. And then some tools that you're going to use to create your website. Again, we're just going to go ahead and use Weebly. There are lots of different website creation tools out there, and this is just one I've been using for years that I think works well. I use it for my own site. It's easy to manage. It's object-oriented programming, so that you really just click and drag the objects that you want. If you want to add a picture, if you want to add text, you click and drag. You don't have to write any of the HTML code. Hypertext markup language, which is HTML. But because Weebly is object-oriented programming, you can just drag and drop. Okay. Please watch this beginner's guide, and it will get you started with using Weebly. Every one of my students last semester created a website with almost zero trouble and very few questions. So I'm quite confident you all will have no problems as well. Sorry for the delay. I'm going to give it a few seconds here. If not, I'll escape out and go back. Trying to load the links. Okay. Here is a beginner's guide to Weebly in more of a print format. first steps, and adding your intro elements, your layouts. So I'm thinking that it's pretty intuitive and you can watch the video and get started. If not, here is a link to the beginner's guide, and then you can click through this and read the parts that you need. Also wanted you to know about an LMS that many folks are starting to use in K-12 education across the nation and internationally, which is Google Classroom. I think it launched about 1.5 years ago, and I redesigned a school here in town, and they went Google Apps for Education, and they are currently using Classroom. And it's a free learning management system. We are currently using Blackboard at Southeastern, and I do like Blackboard. Many universities use it as well. There are many other models for higher learning. Classroom is much more of I think it's still more geared to K-12, although you could use it in higher ed. It's certainly much more widely used in K-12. And if you go into a rural or remote school, or a school that does not have a learning management system that allows you to manage your classroom and have all your students enrolled and share documents with them and email them from the one interface like we do in Blackboard, then Classroom will be a great opportunity or option for you. Here's a 2-minute short video for you. Go ahead and watch that. Now, in order to set up a Google Classroom, you have to be on a domain. Your IT department has to set up a group for you under Google Apps for Education. They have to enroll and all that. So as a single point user, as just one of you, you won't be able to use Classroom at this point. They may open it up later. You would have to work within your IT department to do that. But many K-12 districts, certainly across the nation, and even some in Oklahoma, are going Google Apps for Education. Your personal pages are, this is just a one-page kind of website. This may be good for your students to use. You would use it instead of or in complement to Weebly. Weebly is going to be your main website. This would be a web page. And I have both an About Me and I have a Weebly site as well. Super easy. And if your students want web pages, this would be a great option for them. It's free. Everything I'm showing you is free. The only thing that you have to pay for is in like Weebly.com if you wanted to register your own website name, like mine is drcrystaljensen.com or .org. I had to pay for that name, but just to start a Weebly, it's free. Okay. Then I also encourage you to start professional social media sites. So I have a Dr. Crystal Jensen Facebook and Twitter and all of that, so that you aren't posting anything personal on your professional pages that your parents or administrators might see. Keep it professional. And there are lots of rules and regulations. They differ by school district about how to use social media with your students. So make sure that you understand those when you start teaching and you follow them. It's critical. I've heard about several teachers running into problems because they didn't understand what the rules were with social media. So go ahead and create them. That way you have them ready to go. You don't have to use them. You don't have to post to them, but at least you have the accounts ready to go. And we'll talk more about what accounts I want you to create and all of that at the end of this lesson. Here is a perspective on using social media with students. There's a lot of great research that supports using social media to support student learning. Here is just one of them. And then when you have social media, you have a website, it's a lot to keep everything updated. And even if you're copying and pasting a post from one site to another, it's a lot to manage. And so here's one of the tools that I use to manage all of those different tools and resources and sites is Hootsuite. You can get started for free. Of course, they have premium versions. If you have 2 or 3 people managing it, then I think it's $9.99 a month, but you can certainly start for free. And basically what you do is you add in you connect in all your social media sites, and then you can post one update to all of them with one click. Now, Weebly is not connected to Hootsuite, but you can connect Weebly to Facebook and Twitter. And I still like Weebly despite the fact that I can't add it to Hootsuite yet. They are working on that though. And then you have your discussion board questions as a review. We already went over those. Again, here's your rubric. You all have done a really great job with your discussion boards. So thank you, and that should greatly help your grade. And then as an extension, here is your step-by-step instructions. So create the following, and forgive me, A is a Weebly, and it's Weebly throughout the presentation. I think that was an autocorrect. So create the following web-based or cloud accounts. Weebly A, B, a Gmail account just for professional use. I believe you were supposed to create those at the beginning of the semester, but if you haven't, please do that. And then you're going to create the following social media accounts just for professional use. You don't have to do all 4, but I do want to at least see 3. If you want to add in a different one, that's fine, like Snapchat, I'm okay with that. Just keep it professional, okay? Now also, again, I'm going to reiterate, make sure that you know your district's social media rules and the rules for using those with students. So, and then with your professional sites, always be very careful with what you post. Be careful with what you post in general, because even if you delete it, it stays on the server. It's searchable by Google. It's never fully deleted. You would have to contact Google and have them remove it from their search functions, and they almost never do that. So anything you post stays permanent, it's not deletable, and anybody can search for it and find it. So please, as a teacher, future educator, you are, people are always looking at what you do because you're a leader and you're a thought leader and a moral leader, really. And so you will definitely be, people will look up to you, and therefore they'll also look at what you post. Okay. And then create a free Hootsuite site. And then you're also going to create the following Weebly pages. That was an autocorrect because it corrected throughout the site. These are the pages I want to see on your Weebly, and you saw these in the examples, especially with William Ferris and Jennifer Clark. So a home page, an about page, which is your bio. It has a picture of you. It's about you. And then C is your blog. You're going to be updating your website with posts, and because you're going to be an expert in some areas or have experience other people don't. And so that'll give you the opportunity. I have a blog page on my drcrystaljensen.org site. Portfolio, again, that's your work that you've done in this class and or other classes at Southeastern. Or other colleges and universities as well. A gallery with photos. Again, if you don't have professional photos of you working, then you can put personal ones. A contact page of how to get in touch with you. And then the third thing you're going to do is you're going to connect your professional social media accounts to your web pages and Hootsuite. So again, your Weebly page will connect to Facebook and Twitter. Hootsuite will connect to all of the social media, but not Weebly. So if you need help on how to connect those, you can always Google it, or go ahead and post the question in the discussion board. Again, I don't mind emails, and I answer every email, but I do really prefer you to post your questions in the discussion board, the helpful Q&A question discussion board, because that way we can, I can answer there, other folks, other students can answer your questions there, and everybody else in the class gets the benefit of that learning. So, assignment tracker, just kind of mapping our progress of where we've been and where we're going. You all have done a fabulous job, and we have completed Module 4, and we have a huge percentage of A's in this class, which I'm very happy to see, and certainly a very huge percentage of A's and B's, and then a great percentage of passing A, B, and C. And then we do have a few D's and F's, and that's just really mainly the folks that just haven't turned in key artifacts. So I'll always turn something in, because then I can give you at least some points. Maybe if it's not all points, it may be half, but half points are better than no points. So I have had a few people just not turn something in, and that always makes me sad, because then I can't give you any credit at all. But if you turn in something that, even if it's not completely accurate, but I will still try to give you some points for the effort. So with that being said, your last artifact is due, Module 5, which is your professional branding website. And branding just means that you're creating a name for yourself, and you are starting to publish in a specific area. That's Module 5. It's 10% of your grade, and it's due on April 16th. Which is week 13. So it's Saturday, April 16th by 11:59, same deal. And you should have all the resources you need for that. You should be pretty used to our system in this course. So if you have any questions, again, please post them in the helpful Q&A discussion board. And I'll look forward to looking at your websites then. Then, after that, you're going to do a final presentation and reflection. We'll talk about that later. We're also going to really focus on your chalk and wire after week 14. So we'll have 2 weeks to get your chalk and wire all set up. Make sure that we have all your reflections, because you're going to write a reflection after each of the 5 modules. Hopefully you've been doing that. And then you're also going to have artifacts. You do not have to worry about chalk and wire until week 14, and I'll give you full instructions. Prior to, for modules 1 through 4, again, you are writing a reflection after you turn in your assignment. So you should already have those 4 reflections ready to go. Okay, and then that is it. I did want to take you to our Blackboard and show you, actually we're going to go to coursework. Oh, let me just take you into your section 1 second. My internet's going slow today. There we go. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so here's your modules and assignments. And here's your Module 5. You have your presentation that I already uploaded that we just covered. You have that step-by-step instructions, and then you have your discussion board linked here. Your turn-in link is just above it. I wanted to keep that separate. And then I'll be adding the video here. Also wanted to show you that there is, I believe I posted some chalk and wire information. And there it is. It's right here. So let's just, I'm going to go ahead and move that up to the top. But here is, right there. Okay, so if you have not purchased chalk and wire yet, it's $135, and here's the link to the online bookstore to purchase it. You have your, there's a PowerPoint about how to use chalk and wire. One of my students made that last semester per my request. And then here's some more instructions about chalk and wire. Here's your reflection form about how you have to write the reflection. So here's the template actually for writing the reflection, and it's just a few paragraphs. And then here's a sample of a artifact reflection that one of my students did last semester, and she did an excellent job. So I wanted you just to have a model It's always good to provide your students with models of best practices. So that's one for you. So again, we are not going to be covering this until week 14, but I've had some questions, so I wanted to review that with you. Right now, you're focusing on finishing Module 5. Okay. Thank you very much for all your great work. I am excited about how well the vast majority of you are doing. I just turned in EARs this morning and was able to assign a lot of A's. So if you are not getting a passing grade, and there are a few of you, please do contact me right away. And if there's any way that I can support you, help you to finish strong in the semester, I certainly will do that. So your success is definitely my success, and my goal is for you to be a highly competent, highly qualified technology-using educator where appropriate in Oklahoma to really help rebuild our state and to serve our children. So if I can help you, I certainly will. Please don't hesitate to contact me, and have a great day and a great week.